Good morning, Sankis and Nevis, and welcome to Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. It is 6 minutes past the hour of 11, and it is Monday, September 26, 2022. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the program today. All right, good morning and welcome to Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. So happy to be here. It's the beginning of a new week. We are back out to work after a short weekend. You know, these weekends are flying fast. They're flying by real fast. You know, after working the whole week, when you think you have time to rest, it's Monday again, back out to work. And for those of us who have to work on the weekend, so you don't really have any weekend life, but you're back out to work, and I hope we're gonna have I pray and hope for a very fruitful and productive week for all of us. But I'm really happy to be here, and good morning to those of you who have joined via radio and those of you on our social media accounts, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and those other social media accounts. Thank you so much for joining the program. Of course, we'll be taking your calls later on at 466-0989, 762-0989, or 662-0989. And this is Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. Thank you so much for being on the program today. There are so many things going on in the world, Saint and Nevis across the Caribbean region, internationally. There's so many things happening, and it is so much to keep your head wrapped around. When you look at the news, there's always something. I mean, for the most part, you have good things happening. You have some depressing things. Looking at the internationally and regionally, coming out of the UN General Assembly last week, where the leaders of the different countries across the region made their address. They spoke on a number of areas that they would want the international community to pay attention to, and spoke on areas that their governments would be paying attention to, and, making that commitment to make some meaningful change. For those of you who are listening on Inside the News on Saturday, you would recall that I spoke at length on that, where I, really called for Caribbean governments to do more and to be more proactive, and to be, not just to come and tell us that you're going to do this, but actually do it and get it done, because we want to see real action happening in our country. Small island developing states, people are looking for a lot to happen. Opportunities for advancement, opportunities for training, opportunities for personal growth. These are the things, and personal and professional growth and development. These are the things that people are really looking forward to in our country. It is 10 minutes past the hour of 11 here in the studios of WinFM 98.9. The phone lines are open, and we're taking your calls. Call us and be a part of the discussion today. Of course, giving you the opportunity to raise your a matter of concern that you would want to bring to the fore and share with the general public right here on Voices.
different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Charge up with turbo energy, we want kickstart and a workout. Pour some in a mine and in a your cup. We're going up and up and up. 1 cup and me charge up turbo, me want no time for talk. Pour some in a my cup and get me energy up. Original flavor, me drinking mixing with the ginseng. We no lose turbo, me for win. Cause a turbo, me say me ever ready, never did it. The greatest, next level energy, it's legendary. Pass up, turbo we drink and charge up. 1 cup and me gone up, me charge up with turbo energy drink.
Enjoy an elevated experience with your Flow Home Internet and mobile combined.
Giving you the best rate for great savings.
With 120 gigs of double data for anything.
And unlimited talk.
On 4 mobile lines.
Simply combine your Flow Home Internet and mobile for the best rate and value. Unlock double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines to go with home internet speeds up to 35 megabits per second. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
Yes?
Jean!
Body spray's hot, boy. I can't take it.
Well, it's a good thing I called. The TDC Home and Building Depots are having their Cool 'em Down sale with 20% discount on fans, AC units, coolers, fridges, and more to beat this heat, girl.
You're betting? You're making joke.
No! So stop sweating and let's go to the store now.
Ooh, you come pick me up, because may want to miss the sale at TDC Home and Building Depot.
Yeah, man. And don't forget you can also shop online too, using shoptdcgroup.com.
Cool.
Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Welcome back to Voices right here on Win FM 98.9. It is 16 minutes, past the hour of 11 here in our studios. And thank you so much for joining the program today. Now, I wanted to bring this topic to you, or rather this conversation, on the matter of pending investigations here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and a number of stories and things that have been in the news or pending for quite some time. We've heard updates on them over the past few months. Not much progress there, and we're hoping that very soon the authorities will be able to shed some light and provide some details on a number of pending or things that are pending. We're still waiting for updates. We're still waiting for the authorities to come back and say, well, this is the case and this is what it is. Now, I think most of you would remember that case about the hush puppy matter that the police had been investigating, and the police indicated that they would be collaborating with the United States to move the hush puppy case along. The recent or the latest update on that was that the local police here would be working with the United States government, or the United States government, that is, to get the case along. This was an article that I wrote in February of this year, and it says the DPP and the Solicitor General are to communicate with the United States of America regarding the investigation into the passport scandal involving alleged fraudster Nigerian Raman hush puppy Abbas. And I am quoting here, it says, we sent some information to the DPP and the Solicitor General in terms of doing an MLAT, which is a mutual and legal agreement treaty, to get evidence from the United States. It says we cannot, that is we the police, cannot go to make a request. A legal person or representative would have to ask the competent authority in the USA to get the evidence. Whatever we can do here, we will do until we get the evidence. And that was according to Commissioner of Police Hilroy Brandy. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis had launched an investigation into the Nigerian fraudster and deactivated his passport. The matter of the revocation of Abbas's citizenship has been put before the Attorney General for advice and guidance, said Prime Minister Harris, who also serves as the National Security Minister. So this was under the former administration. So the AG at the time was Vincent Byron Jr. and the Prime Minister was Dr. Timothy Harris. Abbas was accused of bribing a St. Kitts and Nevis government official to assist him in obtaining a false marriage certificate to make him eligible for a passport. I think you guys would recall that this was a story that we had been following for quite some time to get updates from the police on this matter. And for the most part, nothing much was really said. It was always a matter of we are still investigating, or the matter is still under investigation. The only thing of any that really made any sense was when the Commissioner of Police revealed that the local police would be collaborating with the U.S. to move the case along. But nothing really of substance had really been issued by the police, just to say that the case is still under investigation. At the same time, understanding that, when you're investigating certain matters, you would have to be mindful of the information that you release. You don't want to jeopardize the investigation. That, of course, I understand. But since around February, March, we have not heard anything about this matter in particular. And there are a number of other matters that are still on investigation, that questions are still in the air. People are still wondering, what is really going on. And again, this is one of the reasons why the competency the competence of local police always comes into question, where people are always quick to condemn the police, always quick to say the police, they're not doing their job, and the police have fallen short in certain areas, because there seems to be some sort of disconnect. Of course, this is not an attempt to bash the local police force, because you have those officers who go above and beyond. But I find that on matters like these, when things are, again, going back to my point I made last week, because we are such a small community, everybody knows everyone. And so because of that, we hear about things for a short while, maybe a week or two. And then after that, that's it. Everything goes on the back burner. You never hear about it for quite some time. And I remember when we had the change in administration just over about a month ago, I said I'll be looking forward to, updates on these matters. Yes, they happened under the former administration, but the police force did not change. And so the police, they are still expected to carry out their duties and to continue their investigation. So you're hoping to hear from the police, on these matters. The matter concerning the coroner's inquest into the deaths of Customs Officer Andrew Douglas and Stonefort resident Sandra Adams, these matters are still pending. And it appears as if you don't ask a question, nobody's going to come and provide an update. But we're hoping that the police, the Attorney General, whoever is responsible for these matters would come to the public and provide information that they can. Because again, we know still have to be mindful of the information that you share when you are carrying out an investigation. You don't want to jeopardize the investigation. But for the most part, that Hush Puppy case, it was just a matter of them saying it is still an investigation and not much information had been released. I'm pretty sure most of you remember this, and you would recall that it was a hot button topic. It was in the news for quite some time. Everybody wanted to know about this Hush Puppy case and what was really happening. What are the police doing to investigate this matter? What steps are they taking to ensure that something like this does not happen again? We can't afford these things to be happening to our country. Of course, this would have people looking at us as being a corrupt country and not doing things how they are supposed to be done. And so what are the measures that are being put in place to ensure that something like this does not happen again? What are the police doing? These are the questions that people continue to ask and, of course, have every right to ask. And so we want to get an update on these matters. We want to hear from the police and from the relevant authority, on these matters. I know the AG last week spoke about a number of steps the government would be taking or things that they would be following up on: the Integrity in Public Life, the Anti-Corruption Act, which would, in a sense, tie into some of these matters that are still pending, but letting us know what is happening with these matters really, really important. Because, as I said, we heard about them for quite some time, and then that was it. It's just like these things were just thrown out of the window on the back burner, and you never hear about them again. It is 25 minutes past the hour of 11 here in the studios of 1FM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius, and you're logged into Voices. It is the 26th day of September, and just like that, September is over. Let's take this short break, and we will be right back.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
Rams is for you and me. Giving back to community. Rams is for you and me. Better for your family. Better service, better price, better value, better choice. Rewarding you for loyalty. Rams is for you and me. Better price and quality.
TDC Financial Services. We're here for you to help you make your dreams come true. Whether your needs are big or small, we'll support you with them all. TDC Financial Services. We are strong. TDC Financial Services. This is where you belong.
TDC Financial Services, where money is made easy.
Enjoy an elevated experience with your Flow Home Internet and mobile combined.
Giving you the best rate for great savings.
With 120 gigs of double data for anything.
And unlimited talk.
On 4 mobile lines.
Simply combine your Flow Home Internet and mobile for the best rate and value. Unlock double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines to go with home internet speeds up to 35 megabits per second. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to Voices right here on 1FM 98.9. It is 11:30 here in our studios. Of course, we break at 12 for the headline news, and when we come back, we'll continue the program for the second hour. For those of you who are just joining the program today, I am commenting on a number of things that are pending here in St. Kitts and Nevis. What we've been hearing about for quite some time, or we heard about for quite some time, and then everything kind of went away in the wind. You didn't really hear anything else about it until you follow up to ask a question to really understand what is going on. But there are a number of things that are still pending. When this hush puppy matter came out, it was about a year, for about a year, people had been talking about it. I did an article in August of 2021 on Mr. Astephen questioning the process the alleged criminal used to obtain the citizenship. So here's an article that I wrote in August of 2021. It says the hush puppy scandal continues to be a hot topic on the minds of many people in St. Kitts and Nevis, with a former government minister and veteran lawyer, Dwyer Astephen, weighing in on the matter, which has attracted regional and international audiences. Astephen claimed that on October 16, 2019, Hush Puppy was provided with particulars of a young lady and her father to be entered into the fake marriage certificate, and she advised him to backdate it to October 2018. Astephen said 2 days later, Hush Puppy sent a photo of the fake marriage certificate On November 5, 2019, she told Hush Puppy the name of the person to whom he should mail his request to for citizenship. Astefan, in his recent commentary, further reported that on November 13, 2019, she told Hush Puppy how he could get his application expedited and told him to call a certain person by WhatsApp. In December 2019, she and Hush Puppy were discussing the process of obtaining citizenship, and negotiations were underway, and she told him all of the costs. The U.S. Department of Justice, in a statement, said Hush Puppy and other conspirators defrauded a Quartery business person by claiming to be consultants and bankers who could facilitate a loan to finance the construction of a school for about $1.1 million. The U.S. Department of Justice said Hush Puppy used proceeds from the fraud to acquire citizenship in St. Kitts and Nevis, which, according to Astefan, was allegedly submitted in late December 2019 and was approved less than 3 weeks after on January 17, 2020. In the 11-minute commentary, Astefan asked, how did he get through so quickly and why? How could a person like Hush Puppy succeed in getting citizenship of St. Kitts and Nevis? With the greatest of respect, Nigeria is a great country, but is also known for great fraud. That's what Mr. Astefan said. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis announced in a statement last year, July 2020, that Nigerian alleged fraudster did not obtain his citizenship through the investment program, but by virtue of marriage to a Shanwa Nikisha Chapman. It says here the government of St. Kitts and Nevis has become aware of reports and rumors concerning the Federation's citizenship and of a Rahman Abbas, allegedly a person of interest in the United States FBI. We note that the Nigerian-born Abbas, who is 37 years old, was granted a St. Kitts and Nevis passport in February 2020 by virtue of his marriage to Miss Chapman, 32, a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis by birth, and the United States of America, they announced. According to the indictment document, Hush Puppy was used approximately $230,000 of the stolen funds to purchase one of those expensive watches. It says a Richard Mille RM1103 watch, and was hand-delivered to him in Dubai and subsequently appeared in his social media post. Other illicit proceeds from the scheme were allegedly converted into cashier's checks, including $50,000 in checks that were used by Abbas and a co-conspirator to obtain a passport by creating a false marriage certificate and reportedly bribing a government official. So this is the meat of the story, and this is the background of what really was going on with Hush Puppy, and how he allegedly got his St. Kitts and Nevis passport, and some of the other frauds that he had participated in other countries. And of course, this began all in late 2019 into 2020. We are in 2022 and we still not have heard about that. We have some callers on the line, so let's head to the phone lines. We'll take this call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hello, caller. Good morning. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Please try call us back at 466-0989 or 762-0989 662-0989. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hello, caller. Good morning. Can you hear me? Okay, we're not getting that caller. Right. Yeah, so that was that was basically the meat of the story and what basically the background of what really had been going on with Hush Puppy. And again, this began in late of 2019, and we're now in 2022. As a matter of fact, we are approaching the end of 2022, and we still not have heard. We have not heard from the government, even for the whole of basically 2022. You know, what is really going on here, and the progress that had been made, or the progress that they've been making so far. Now, the article further reads that, and this was this article was written in August of 2021. It says Minister of Foreign Affairs Mark Brantley rejected allegations that claim that a government official was bribed to provide Nigerian Raman Alunwa Abbas, known as Hush Puppy, with a passport through the CBI program. He said, quote, I want to make it very clear that based on the little I have seen in the public domain, there is absolutely no allegation being made against any service provider or government official in St. Kitts and Nevis, said Brantley at his Thursday, July 29th, 2021 press conference. This is the meat and the background details and the full insight into what really was going on with the Hush Puppy matter. About 2 years later, we still not have heard much of what is really going on. As I said, authorities in I would say have been quite tight-lipped on providing information on this, and being forthcoming and providing an update to the general public, but not much information has been coming forward, and we are approaching the end of 2022, so over 2 years now, and we have not really been getting much from the authority. It is 40 minutes past the hour of 11, and you're tuned into Win FM 98.9. This is Voices. We'll take a short break to give a shout out to our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll continue the program for today. Stick and stay. I'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Everybody beware, you better prepare. Disaster can happen anytime, anywhere. Everybody beware, you better prepare. Disaster can happen anytime.
No one can predict disaster. I am Jamelia Henry with some tips for minimizing risk when disaster strikes. Always keep a first aid kit and manual on hand. Keep prescription medicines and special medical supplies for up to 1 week at home. Baby food and prepared formula, diapers, and other baby provisions should be in good supply and kept in a dry, clean space. The first defense against disaster for your family is preparedness. Contact NEMA at 466-5100 for information, or visit nema.kn. From danger to safety, NEMA's your candle in the dark.
Everybody beware, you better prepare. Disaster can happen anytime, anywhere. Everybody beware, you better prepare. Disaster.
Yes?
Jean!
Body spray's hot, boy. I can't take it.
Well, it's a good thing I called. The TDC Home and Building Depots are having their Cool 'em Down sale with 20% discount on fans, AC units, coolers, fridges, and more to beat this heat, girl.
Girl, Betty, you're making joke.
No, so stop sweating and let's go to the store now.
Ooh, you come pick me up, because may want to miss the sale at TDC Home and Building Depot.
Yeah, man. And don't forget you can also shop online too, using shoptdcgroup.com.
Cool.
Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down. When I lime it at the beach on the town, Shirley biscuits always feel like home.
Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
Enjoy an elevated experience with your Flow Home Internet and mobile combined.
Giving you the best rate for great savings.
With 120 gigs of double data for anything.
And unlimited talk.
On 4 mobile lines.
Simply combine your Flow Home Internet and mobile for the best rate and value. Unlock double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines to go with home internet speeds up to 35 megabits per second. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to Voice It right here on Win FM 98.9. It is 11:45, just 15 minutes before the 12 o'clock hour, where we break for the headline news. Thank you so much for joining the discussion. For those of you who are just coming on, I'm talking about, pending investigations and things that we're yet to hear updates from the relevant authority, the police, the government. And we're looking at this hush puppy matter dating as far as back as 2019 when all of it first began and broke news. And we're ending out 2022 and we have not heard much. I've written about, let me see, 2, 3, 4, over about maybe about 7, 8 articles about that investigation or about that matter. And we are still waiting for information from the police. And so I hope that somebody within the police force, with the authority or with that call, can hear this and move forward. Too many times we hear of investigations happening, and then, there is a disconnect there. I appreciate and I understand that, yes, as media workers, we have our role to play by investigating and asking the questions, which we do. But too many times investigations are launched. You hear that the investigation was launched and the details as much as they can provide, that is. And if you don't ask a question, nobody comes with an explanation or an update for that matter. And you never hear about it ever again. And that's it. It is in the wind. And I think that is where the police is falling short. It may not necessarily be a case of where nothing is being done, but it is not being communicated. it is not being communicated. But I have to put on record that we have continued to follow up and ask, but it gets to the point where you just get so, basically you get annoyed, you know, you get you get basically tired of the back and forth and basically hearing the same thing over and over and over again with no real progress, no real, you know, updates on what is really going on. And, you know, going back to us being a small country, it's a small place, everybody know everybody, and so you find that, you know, nothing much really happens because you find that in some cases you might be investigating a distant cousin, you might be investigating a friend or a friend of a friend, a mutual friend, and, you know, one of the reasons why a lot of things don't really move forward in the country as it relates to these investigations. I mean, you even have people who are bold enough to tell you, you know, we don't want you to talk about that. Talk about something else, or touch on something else, you know, tackle something else. But leave that for the back burner. Leave that alone. Put that aside. And this is one of the stories that it is disappointing, really, really disappointing, you know, and it really makes you wonder. And so we're hoping that the authorities, the relevant authority, whoever is listening, you know, can really act upon this and give us an update. Let us know what is going on with all of these investigations. I'm looking forward to the first press conference of the government. Looking forward to hear from the government updates on not just the projects, the government projects that they've embarked upon, or what they've done in their first couple, or in first, basically 2 months. But what we want to hear is specifically from the police update on these matters that are pending, let me say, before the public, because the people do have a right to know what is going on in the country. So I believe that is where the disconnect is. We know with this matter, the investigation had been launched, passport was revoked and deactivated, or no, the passport was deactivated. It was not revoked, it was deactivated. So I think there's a difference between revoking the passport, because if you revoke the passport, you completely withdraw, or you take back the citizenship. But if you deactivate the passport, the person, they still have a Sinking passport. It's just that they can't use it to travel. There are some similarities, but I wouldn't really say it is the same. So passport had been deactivated, and the matter was before the Ministry of Justice and Legal Affairs, and they are supposed to be providing legal advice on the way forward on that matter. But again, not much really has been said. Then, of course, you have matters like I'm pretty sure most of you would remember in September of 2020 when news broke that a customs officer had allegedly commit suicide at the customs department. I think that was in Bird Rock. That too was another story that attracted a lot of public concern and debate on media and non-traditional media. Everybody had been talking about it, really trying to get to the bottom of what took place, trying to get an understanding. The police came out, they gave an update, and the last update was that there is a coroner's inquest into the death of that young man. And I do believe some information had been sent off to Guyana, to a specific lab in Guyana, to get the details of what really took place. That we are still waiting for. But, I mean, I can go on and on and on, but I'm just bringing these to show you that that is where the disconnect is. We hear about all of these investigations, and as I said, you hear about it for a while, and then that's it. These things are thrown to the back of the room or placed at the bottom of the list, or not, and in some cases, not even priority. We don't hear about them until you ask a question, and even when you do ask a question, that is it. Not much information is provided. The update we had gotten from the police was that they were waiting on the magistrate's court to hear the coroner's inquest into those two high-profile deaths. The coroner's inquest into the deaths of Customs Officer Andrew Douglas and Stonefort resident Sandra Adams, they are still pending before the magistrate's court, and that was according to Commissioner of Police Hilroy Brandy. He said, "We are ready. There were some delays in getting back some forensic testing. They have arrived, and any moment now, we should be able to proceed when the magistrate's court sets the date and time for the coroner's inquest," said Brandy in an interview with WinFM on February 10th, 2022. A similar update was provided by Commissioner Brandy 1 month ago on January 7th, 2022. He said that's still before the magistrate court, and we are in COVID, so these matters are very slow because of the restrictions with the amount of people in court. So basically that was what was given by the commissioner. Because of COVID, things were backed up, and they were unable to hear the cases. We had been experiencing some technical difficulties with our phone lines. I do believe the matter is resolved now, so please try calling us again at 466-0989, 762-0989, or 662-0989. Please call us at those numbers. We had some technical difficulties and some issues with the phone lines, but I do believe they're back up right now, so you can call us at those numbers so that you can participate in the program. It is 11:55. We break at 12 for the headline news, and when we come back, we'll continue the discussion for today. Let's take a short break, and I'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Buildings damaged by an earthquake are dangerous. This is not the time for sightseeing. You could be in personal danger, and your presence could hamper emergency responses. Also, stay away from areas prone to landslides, low-lying coastal areas, lakes, and streams that lead to the ocean. Do not head for the coast until local authorities tell you that the danger of a tsunami has passed. Curiosity can kill.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WinFM.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drugstore's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drugstore's curbside pickup service.
Better service, better price, better value, better
Welcome back to Voices, right here on Window from 98.9. We have a call on the line. Let's see if we can get this caller in. Okay, we seem to have lost that call. Let's take this one. Caller, good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Devon.
Good morning. Wait, caller, turn off. Yes, I'm hearing you. Turn off the radio.
I just turned it off.
Okay.
Now, I must commend you for having this long dialogue by yourself. Now, something has got to be done about the efficiency of your phone system, you know.
Yes, we are working on it, and we're trying to get the matter addressed as soon as possible.
Monday. If it is I don't know where the source of the problem, but that is something that you could investigate and get sorted out, because when you're dealing with business, because we never miss a business, and if you cannot get to the business efficiently, then somebody is supposed to compensate you for your loss. You don't think so?
Yeah, I agree with you, caller. I do.
Yeah. I mean, I did listen to you, so boy, it's a good thing you know something. If you knew nothing, it would be worse. You know, you might have to cancel the show or something. Now, since it's soon 12, a lot of requests have gone in for investigations. You ever about opening a Pandora box?
Hmm.
You know the Pandora box story, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
Hello?
Yes, I do, yes.
Yeah, when you open the box, it has more than what you expect, you know. Because politics in St. has always been corrupt.
Mm-hmm. But let me show you something, caller. Stick up in for a moment. You remember last week, I'm pretty sure right now you heard about the AG talking about people who had not been friendly to the government's treasury.
Yes.
You heard
he
about
made
that?
A statement.
Right. So I was saying that with that statement, with any investigations that would be happening, I am saying if you're going to do an investigation, the investigation should be across the board, not just a selected few.
I agree with you. But who called in for the investigation?
I don't know.
You notice the chorus of the investigation requests coming from the present government side and also the government itself, the supporters.
Well, this is a trend that we've seen for
I
over the years. You know, whenever administration change, I mean, we saw this in 2015 where supporters of the former administration came and said that they were going to do all of this investigation, and nothing happened. And here we are again, 5 years.
I understand your frustration, Devon.
Oh, it's crazy.
Devon, I 74, you hear me? They have enough investigation to do to go back to 1941. I mean, serious. You know, the other day when they said that the former Prime Minister, Dr. Douglas, got back his visa. I said nobody asked the question why for 7 years they did not give him.
That is a question that I've always asked. I heard a story that didn't really make much sense, but
no.
Dr. Douglas is yet to address the matter. The authorities are yet to address the matter. So who am I?
That's the point I'm making. So I'm here you there beating dead horse. And you know another route, transcripts, the cases for the herpes and the stem cell were tried in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
Access, I don't know how to get access to the transcript from the trial. Should give you ideas as to who and what. Because when they had cases in St. Kitts, even the one with the disappearance of Billy Herbert, statements were made in the court in Florida. So that's another route that you all could take. Because believe me, if you start to investigate that the former government, well, all of the things before will come out, and there are people out here who know what went down, what goes down.
Right. We're calling is at the top of the hour, so we have to take this break, and when we come back, we continue the conversation.
Yes, I'm glad you got your thing, but talk to Flo, to whoever.
Well, they know who they are. All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. Let's take this break for the headline news, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation for today.
Found the sound 98.9 Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and the ICDF Taiwan Technical Mission.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Dealing well with a low reputation and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business, property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we've got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Dealey Walwyn, people you can trust.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Think before you bin it. There can be some use in it. The Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority, in collaboration with Taiwan ICDF Technical Mission and the Department of Environment, presents Let's Recycle. We're encouraging all residential homes, commercial businesses, and schools to bring along your plastic bottles, metal cans, and aluminum cans, ready for an opportunity to win big. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the following locations: in Nevis, every second and fourth Friday of each month at Delta Petroleum, ex-Petrol in Camps, Big Six in Gingerland, and the Old Artisan Village in Charlestown. In St. Kitts, every second and fourth Tuesday at the Connery Roundabout, every first and third Tuesday at Buckley's parking lot in front of Best Buy, and the last Saturday of each month in Deep Bay. But wait, that's not all. 1 pound equals 1 point. So bring your recyclables and build up your points for a chance to win stainless steel thermal bottles, flatware, and much more. To learn more about the recycling project, do visit our Facebook page at Let's Recycle in St. Kitts and Nevis, or contact us at 465-2372. The choice is yours. Save it or waste it. You are the difference. So think smart. Take PAT, reduce, reuse, recycle.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
With the WIN headline news, I am Devon Cornelius.
And I am Yolana Weeks.
In our headlines, Minister of Environment sits in UN sessions designed to help St. Kitts and Nevis move towards solutions for tackling pollution.
Nevis Reformation Party candidate calls for a more peaceful community.
In regional news, Puerto Ricans seething over lack of power days after Fiona. And Jamaican DPP seeks 60 years for Clarendon massacre convict. Internationally, pound hits record low against US dollar. The details of these and other stories straight ahead.
J.D. Keynes, Nevis Reformation Party candidate for Nevis 1, is imploring individuals to refrain from violence. Keynes made this appeal on social media following a shooting incident that occurred nearby her residence last week.
As someone who has gone to school with many persons, and I am acquainted with many persons who have fallen victims to violence, I understand the pain that families feel. And so, I believe it is important for me to call on all of us to stop the violence. It is time for us to stop leaving parents without their children. It is time for us to stop leaving children without their parents. It is also time for us to stop leaving communities without talented men and women.
The politician said she is comforted in the fact that she was able to assist the victim.
I am, however, saddened that at least one person was injured as a result of violence. In my opinion, one injury as a result of violence is one too many. I am, however, comforted in the fact that I was able to offer assistance to at least one individual. The reality is, even if I had never seen this individual before in my life, I would have still offered assistance because he's someone's son and he's a human being.
However, Keynes said there have been conflicting stories about the incident and therefore encouraged individuals to not spread false information.
I am aware that there are many versions of the story circulating on social and non-traditional media. And I am using this platform to call on everyone to be responsible in our storytelling. We ought not to go around spreading untruths. Rather, what we can do is offer assistance to the police if we have any information about this incident.
The politician has also extended appreciation to the people who have reached out to her in concern, noting that she is eternally grateful for the overwhelming support.
The government of St. Kitts and Nevis is working to find solutions for the rising challenge of plastic pollution. Currently at the 77th United Nations General Assembly, Minister of Environment and Climate Action, Honorable Dr. Joel Clark, participated in high-level discussions on policy solutions to tackle plastic pollution using a national to global approach. Dr. Clark said addressing plastic solutions, and in particular microplastic, does not require just political will, but strong legislation supporting restricting of the importation of single-use or disposable plastics, but also requires financial assistance being established with support to transition from plastics to renewable material, which is often an issue of waste management. She said, quote, "We will have to address plastic pollution, including plastic that is coming in and plastic that is already in the environment. There is also a need for a culture shift where people engage more in sorting and recycling of their garbage and limiting their dependence on plastic so that we can move forward towards the global trend of banning plastic to stay true to our Prime Minister's bid to become a sustainable island state." The general tone of the session focused on ways to find solutions to totally ban the production of single-use or disposable plastics. Such things are water bottles, straws and plastic bags that are used only once before they are discarded or recycled. The ministers agreed that the amount of resources required to manufacture these products for exporting and importing does not make it worthwhile, especially to the environment. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force is informing the general public of the temporary closure of the Date Bay Police Station for urgent repairs. As of September 24th, 2022, the operations of that station will take place at the Tabernacle Police Station. The Tabernacle Police Station can be reached by dialing 465-7227. In regional news, half of Puerto Rico is without power more than 5 days after Hurricane Fiona struck, including an entire town where not a single work crew has arrived. Many on the U.S. territory are angry, and calls are growing for the ouster of the island's private electricity transmission and distribution company. Fuel disruptions are worsening the situation, forcing grocery stores, gas stations, and other businesses to close and leaving apartment buildings in the dark because there is no diesel for generators. Many are questioning why it is taking so long to restore power, since Fiona was a Category 1 storm that did not affect the entire island and whose rain, not wind, inflicted the greatest damage. It's not normal, said Marcel Castro, an electrical engineering professor at the University of Puerto Rico. They have not given a convincing explanation of what the problem is, he added. He noted that Puerto Rico's Electric Power Authority and Luma, a private company that took over the island's power transmission and distribution last year, also have not released basic information such as details of the damage to the electricity grid. We don't know the extent of the damage yet, Castro said, adding that he was concerned and surprised that Luma had not brought in additional crews to boost extra manpower already on the island. Luma has said Fiona's floods left several substations underwater and inaccessible, and it has insisted it doesn't need more personnel. The lack of power has prompted at least 2 mayors to activate own repair teams, and several other town leaders are calling for answers on why Luma crews have not reconnected homes and key infrastructure. The island's power grid was already crumbling due to austerity measures, aging infrastructure, and lack of maintenance when a powerful Hurricane Maria razed the system in 2017. Reconstruction of the grid had barely started when Hurricane Fiona hit last Sunday. In the first days following Fiona, Luma officials promised that the vast majority of customers would soon have their electricity back. But as of late Friday, more than 40% of 1.47 million customers were still in the dark.
In Jamaica, the Director of Public Prosecutions wants no less than a 60-year sentence for Rushane Barnett, the man who brutally murdered his 5 cousins, 4 of whom were children. Because Barnett pleaded guilty to all 5 counts, the death penalty was taken off the table. However, DPP Paula Llewellyn suggested that the sentence of life imprisonment would be appropriate for 23-year-old Barnett and recommended he be made to serve at least 55 years before becoming eligible for parole. Llewellyn appealed to Justice Leighton Pusey to regard the case as the worst in Jamaica, as there has never before been a reported instance of one person killing 5 others at once. For his part, Barnett claims to have been obeahed into committing the mass homicide and says that he has been hearing voices in his head since he was 18. Those voices, he told the court, instructed him to kill Kamisha Wright, her daughters Kimanda Sharalee and Rafaela Smith, ages 15, 12, and 5, and her son Kishon Henry Jr., who was 1 month shy of his 2nd birthday. Their bodies were found in their Cocoa Peace Clarendon residence on June 21st. However, a forensic psychiatrist found Barnett to be of sound, undisturbed mind, saying he found no evidence of psychiatric illness. On the contrary, Barnett's psychiatric report described him as displaying, quote, superficial charm, deceitfulness, lack of remorse, lack of empathy, adult antisocial behavior, and also the possible presence of impulsivity. The report also found that the convicted killer, quote, does not accept responsibility for his crimes. Defense attorney Tamika Harris is arguing that sentencing should start at 45 years before parole because Barnett's guilty plea came early, made before he was assigned counsel. She told the court that given a chance, Barnett would apologize to his aunt for the crimes against his cousins. The presiding judge set Barnett's sentencing for October 20th, as he said he needed time to consider all aggravating and mitigating factors before arriving at a sentence.
The military has been deployed to Canada's Nova Scotia's province after Tropical Storm Fiona battered the coastline. Hundreds of thousands of people across 5 provinces have been left without power, and officials have warned of severe damage to critical infrastructure. Liana Hosea has this report.
Tropical Storm Fiona has battered eastern Canada, leaving devastation in its wake. Houses were washed into the sea, and hundreds of thousands of people are left without power as winds up to 100 miles per hour bring down power lines. Emergency teams are already working to clear the roads of the huge amount of debris and fallen trees left in its wake. 2 women were reportedly swept into the ocean in Newfoundland. Port aux Basques on the southwest tip of Newfoundland bore the brunt of the storm. The mayor declared a state of emergency and evacuated parts of the town that were flooded. Prime Minister Trudeau has pledged federal help to affected communities.
As we see the images of houses falling into the sea, of waves destroying property and buildings, our first thought needs to be for people, to make sure that people are staying safe. Buildings and even communities can be rebuilt, but we have to make sure that we're keeping everyone safe.
Storm Fiona has already swept through parts of the Caribbean, knocking out the power across virtually all of Puerto Rico. But this storm surge was not expected in Canada.
According to the conversations that we've had around with folks who've been in this community for a long time, most of them, all of their lives, between 70 and 80 years, a lot of them, they have never seen anything like this before. The wind is not a big issue here. It's always, during the winter months particularly, we have 80 to 120 to 140 winds, but we don't have our storm surges.
Storm Fiona is now losing steam and has been downgraded to a post-tropical cyclone. But as Prime Minister Trudeau admits, infrastructure will need to be rebuilt to withstand ever more frequent extreme weather, as we see these maybe once-in-a-century storms start to hit every few years. Liana Hosea, BBC News.
Now, the British pound has fallen to its lowest level ever against the US dollar. In early Asia trade, sterling fell to $1.03 before regaining some ground to around $1.06 as the London markets opened. The pound's fall follows a frosty reception by the markets to the British government's announcement last week. It will cut taxes and hugely increase the amount it borrows. Well, let's talk to Russ Mould, who's investment director at AJ Bell, joining me from Brighton in the south of England. And Russ, while Britain slept, the pound plummeted overnight. What have you made of this situation?
It's something that's unfortunately been potentially brewing for a while, in that if you look at the fundamentals of the British economy, we spend more than we earn, so there's a growing government budget deficit. We import more than we sell, so there's a current account and trade deficit. So we are, to quote a former governor of the Bank of England, Mr. Mark Carney, dependent upon the kindness of strangers for funding our lifestyle. And that's all well and good when people are happy to borrow in pounds. But if they start to lose confidence in that, then they're reluctant for the government to borrow more, and they will charge the government more interest for the privilege of doing so, which is a further burden upon the British economy. Right, so this all is the result of what happened on Friday. That budget was not called a budget, but it was pretty dramatic in fiscal terms. What sort of shockwaves are you predicting for the rest of the day, if any? My record on forecasting currencies is absolutely appalling, I have to say. So you don't want to listen to anything that I've got to say on the topic. But given that the pound has been so badly smashed around and sentiment is now so negative on it, it wouldn't be surprising if it was to try and forge a rally in the short term. The more fundamental question is, does the Bank of England try to intervene, or do other governments try and intervene? The Bank of Japan is trying to support the yen against the dollar, because the dollar is strong against the Japanese currency. And the last time we saw the pound this week against the American currency was 1985, and it was actually then coordinated international intervention, Germany, France, Japan, and Britain, to try and weaken the dollar with the Plaza Accord. Now, that did work then, and the dollar went down very quickly. So it'll be interesting to see if the situation gets so serious that happens again. Though I must say the dollar is nowhere near as strong now in total as it was back in 1985.
And the actual effects that Britons will notice of a weak pound, just talk us through them. I mean, what does it do to the cost of living, for instance?
Yeah, that's probably the most important one. For those who are lucky enough to be able to go overseas on holiday, it makes their overseas holidays more expensive because your pound is worth less against the euro or the dollar, so you need more of them to buy the same amount of foreign currency. But for those who are just staying around at home, it makes our imports more expensive. So it could give a little bit of a lift to inflation when the government is trying to cap that by capping energy prices. The upside is it does in theory make your exports more competitive because British goods are cheaper for overseas buyers to acquire. So it may give a bit of a benefit. And in theory, this sort of currency weakness should balance itself out. As the dollar gets stronger, its economy slows down. America has to cut interest rates. As the pound gets weaker, imports go up, the economy recovers. The Bank of England maybe even raises interest rates to cool things down. So the gap on the return on the money you get in dollars and pounds should, and I stress in theory, close at some stage, but these things can take a long time.
That was the WinFM Headline News. The Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and the ICDF Taiwan Technical Mission.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Think before you bin it. There can be some use in it. The St. Kitts and Nevis Solid Waste Management, in collaboration with Taiwan ICDF Technical Mission and the Department of Environment, presents Let's Recycle. We are encouraging all residential homes, commercial businesses, and schools to bring along your plastic bottles, metal cans, and aluminum cans, ready for an opportunity to win big. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every second and fourth Tuesday each month at the following locations in St. Kitts: the Connery Roundabout, every first and third Tuesday at Buckley's parking lot in front of Best Buy, and the last Saturday of each month in Date Bay. In Nevis, every second and fourth Friday of each month at Delta Petroleum, Ex-Petrol in Camps, Big Six in Gingerland, and Old Artisan Village in Charlestown. But wait, that's not all. 1 pound equals 1 point. So bring your recyclables and build up your points for a chance to win stainless steel thermal bottle, flatware set, and much more. To learn more about the recycling project, do visit our Facebook page at Let's Recycle in St. Kitts and Nevis, or contact us at 465-2372. The choice is yours. Save it or waste it. You are the difference. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoy the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
Did
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Dealing well with a low reputation and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we've got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Dealey Walwyn, people you can trust.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM. Win FM weather.
Today's weather comes to you with the kind compliments of Beacon Insurance.
Isn't it great when your experience pays off? Finally, drivers 50 years and over can enjoy the benefits of their years of driving experience. With Beacon's 50-plus plan, you can expect a hassle-free sign-up, affordable fixed rates, and free windscreen cover with your car insurance. Call Kane Agencies Limited at 465-3333 or log on to beacon.co.tt and get driving today.
Today's weather, partly cloudy with a 40% or moderate chance of showers. Tonight, partly cloudy with a 40% or moderate chance of showers. Moisture and instability will support cloudiness and showers across the Virgin Islands southwards to the Windward Islands today and tonight. Meanwhile, the daytime heating will generate unsettled conditions for Puerto Rico as well as Trinidad and Tobago. Temperatures 28 degrees Celsius or 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunset today will be at 6:04 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow at 6:01 a.m. That's your weather forecast for today. Came to you with the kind compliments of Beacon Insurance.
Always be sure you settle for more. Get up to 35% off Beacon's fully comprehensive vehicle insurance and still cover a whole lot more. Enjoy higher discounts and better coverage for any kind of vehicle, car, SUV or pickup with free loss of use, windscreen cover and special perils. To sign up, call Kane Agencies Limited at 869-465-3333 or log on to beacon.co.tt and settle for more today.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 Win FM.
Don't stop, won't stop, can't stop the never-ending cashback at Horsewoods. Yes, it's that time of the year. Double cashback coupon season is here. The season when Horsewoods Furniture and Appliances gives away millions in free groceries with every FlexPay purchase and a chance to win 1 year in free groceries with a never-ending double cashback. Yes, the Horsewoods never-ending double cashback is back for even more free groceries. This is double cashback coupon season, so come today and get double cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries in the never-ending double cashback promotion. Yes, happening now. Get double cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries with every higher purchase. The never-ending double cashback is back at Horsewoods Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store, where you get double cashback coupons for free groceries with every FlexPay purchase. Don't stop, won't stop, can't stop the never-ending savings, never-ending discounts, never-ending quality and service, and the never-ending double cashback for this double cashback coupon season. Don't miss it. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Here are your Horses Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag Independent Specials from September 8th through 21st. Essential everyday croutons, just $5.99. Alma Vienna sausage, $2.99. Pringles chips, $7.99. Bagel bites, $11.99. Wharton cookies, $14.99. Swiss Miss chocolate, $8.99. And now, our very low weekly value deals. Planters cocktail and dry roasted peanuts, $14.99. Post honey bunches of oat cereals, $11.99. Wishbone salad dressings, $11.99. Crest toothpaste, $12.99. Suavitel liquid fabric softener, $16.99. Essential everyday pastas, $4.49. Shop smart, shop value mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Welcome back to Voices right here on Win FM 98.9. It is 12:37 here in the studios. I'm your host for the second hour, Devon Conyo. Yes, thank you so much for joining us on the program today. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls at 466-0989, 762-0989 or 662-0989. For those of you who are just tuning in, we were on the matter of pending investigations and a number of things that are pending here in St. Kitts and Nevis that authorities have yet to provide update on. All right. So we were talking about the pending things that are pending here in St. Kitts and Nevis, investigations, updates, and matters we've heard about for quite some time. Then after a while, these things went away. Our caller made a very interesting point, which I was somewhat referring to last week, where I basically said, you know, if we're going to have these inquiries or investigations happening, it needs to happen across the board and not just a selected few. But we've seen time and time again, you know, this seems to be or appears to be a cycle. It seems to be a cycle where every time, you know, administration changes, we often hear from. So this side is going to argue and say, we're going to conduct all of these investigations and this is going to happen. And when the administration changes again, you hear from the other side that investigations are going to happen and this is going to happen. But again, going back to my point of, being such a small country, everybody is connected. And so you may end up in a situation, not saying because of that investigation shouldn't happen, but you're going to end up in a situation where, these things are going to happen, and some may get disappointed because you may think that you're just investigating John Doe or Mary Jane, when in fact the investigation that was launched in John Doe is going to jump past Mary Jane and go to somebody else, to Billy or some other person. So these things need to be across the board, and if we're going to have these things happen, we need to know the full details of what really went down. But at times people don't really take these things serious because, again, it seems to be like a trend, like a cycle. We hear about it for quite some time, and that's it. That's it right there. You never hear about it again. It is a cycle where when administrations change, we often hear about the number of investigations that are going to happen and the number of inquiries that are going to be made, and then you get disappointed because none of that actually happens, and it's the truth. When the former administration team, Unity, took office in 2015, they too came with the same thing, talking about who is going to be investigated and who is going to be arrested. I even heard allegations of, I even heard about that they were going to, what's his name? They were going to arrest the former Prime Minister, Dr. Douglas. So, sometimes you can't even take these things serious and just have to listen to people and let them just say what they just say these things. There's a call on the line. Let's head to the phone lines. I'll take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Devon.
Good afternoon, caller. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Not bad at all. I'm giving thanks for life.
Okay, Devon, this morning I had the opportunity to listen to Prime Minister Terence Dew, his speech at the United Nations in New York. And I am so proud of my Prime Minister. And certain words that he used that struck me was when he said that there's a tectonic shift in politics, in the power system. I'm going to go back to it and listen. I listened to it this morning on ZIZ program. And I'm going to check it out to go back on YouTube. But I just want to say, Devon, when I listened to Prime Minister Terrence's speech and coupled with Mia Motley's speech, I've been touting before, Devon, that change is unstoppable. Devon, I don't know if you had the opportunity to see what took place in London with the African leaders who were ferried to the cathedral at the funeral of the Queen, the late Queen. And one of our African leaders who refused to travel on the bus was the president of Ethiopia, who happened to be a woman. Devon, I have said before that our leaders have failed us, our male leaders to be specific. And when I say that change is unstoppable, our women are taking the lead. Mia Motley, the president of, if I can mention her name, I have her name here on paper. I can't find the paper at the moment, but she refused because she told the entourage that came to get her that she told them that she have her embassy, have her vehicle, and she will not go on the bus. If you see it, Devon, it is so embarrassing. But suffice to say that the youth in Africa also saw that display of all the African leaders who attend the funeral. And they are rallying on the continent today, Devon, with disgust. So what I am trying to say, Devon, the 50 54 or 53 presidents on the continent, the youths are discussed with them, and they're saying the future is not with them anymore. The women, there's a professor from Ghana who made a comment a couple of weeks ago after learning of the Queen illness. And people like Jeff Bezos took her to task. And this is Professor Uju Anyo. She's a Ghanaian professor in New York. And she made some derogatory comment about the Queen while she was ill. I'm not going to repeat what she said. But the Polish people on Polish Twitter is bigging her up big time for the comments she made. Again, Devon, I want to say that I am proud of Prime Minister Ju. And with my mindset right now, the way I observe the times, I am saying change is unstoppable. And again, I said, Devon, the scripture tells us that no one puts new wine in old bottle. The earth today is cleaning itself from an era of darkness and wickedness on both sides. But let me say this, Devon. We had our space and we had our everything given to us by the Creator who gave us the land of milk and honey. If you do a research, Devon, from the inception of the cursed race, let me repeat this, from the inception of the cursed race, you interpret that to yourself, Devon. From the inception of the cursed race, coming into our space, we have known nothing but rape, hate, death, envy, and lies. But we had everything in African spirituality before the cursed race came to us. Thank you for hearing me.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to this program. It is 1:45. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls at 466-0989, 762-0989, or 662-0989. We'll take this break and in a short while we'll take a break and of course we'll continue the program after. Call us at 466-0989, 762-0989, or 662-0989. Let's take this break. We'll take this break and we'll be right back.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less with our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Don't stop, won't stop, can't stop the never-ending cashback at Horsford's. Yes, it's that time of the year. Double cashback coupon season is here. The season when Horsford's Furniture and Appliances gives away millions in free groceries with every FlexPay purchase and a chance to win 1 year in free groceries with a never-ending double cashback. Yes, the Horsford's never-ending double cashback is back for even more free groceries. This is double cashback coupon season, so come today and get double cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries in the never-ending double cashback promotion. Yes, happening now. Get double cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries with every higher purchase. The never-ending double cashback is back at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store, where you get double cashback coupons for free groceries with every FlexPay purchase. Don't stop, won't stop, can't stop the never-ending savings, never-ending discounts, never-ending quality and service, and the never-ending double cashback for this double cashback coupon season. Don't miss it. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Welcome back to Voices here on 1FM 98.9. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989, 762-0989, or 662-0989. It is 12:52 in the studios of 1FM 98.9, and I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the program. Right, we have some callers on the line, so we're going to take some calls right now. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hey, good afternoon again. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. And you?
Yes, you should be feeling better now, right? Make sure you keep your water wet your throat. Now, in the news, J.D. Keynes made some statement, and I have been thinking about it. What exactly is causing this uprise or increase in the bloodletting? Let me say bloodletting. I don't even notice it. And the robbery. What is fueling it? Have you paid it any mind?
I have, and like you, this is a question that a lot of people continue to ask, but I don't even know if there is a response or answer to it, rather, explanation.
I am saying, Lord, who know to prepare you here because this is demonic. And also, demonic. I mean, is it connected in any way to the peace program? That's a question you're asking to, right?
Right, yes.
Because somebody must have the answer, whether not God, not for sure. But this uptake in the bloodletting, I mean, you imagine that somebody is on Lozak Road to the back of the police station, to the back, fixing his vehicle according to the police report, and an assailant walk up and stab him in a road that only has 2 roads to go down from, and no camera around here.
That was a question that we had, but we couldn't really get a response. Yeah, we couldn't get a response, but
because the person could have gone through the back door and go down to the station and deal with the other policemen. The bloodletting, I mean, this is demonic, Demonic.
What do you think can be done from a community
you got to put on the cause. You can't treat something if you don't know the cause, Otherwise, you're wasting medicine. You know that, right?
But what would you say is fueling this, though, in your opinion?
I just said that it is pure demonic influence. Because, some people jokingly say that some people trying to get on the peace.
Yeah, I often hear that for real.
So you're going to kill your brother. You're going to kill somebody. Rob somebody. And why are they targeting the businesses in Nevis is another story. I recall when robberies were high, the police used to go around and give businesses tips on securing the business. So are there somebody trying to inculcate fear in the country again? But these are serious questions, Because if they're going to rob things, you say, well, say, they shut down. What is going on?
But definitely, this is something that the police, this is something that they have to look into.
Yeah, because it is too frequent now. It is too frequent.
And I believe that same spot that you're referring to in Nevis, that was robbed a few months ago.
Yeah, I mean, the police should have been on the road going to the business places. And they may have to again, with this, because people using the mask. So look, just like how some places say, when you come in the door, pull down the mask, let me see. And you see, sometimes another thing with it. Sometimes I tell you, the devil at work. You have these things, and people say, "Oh, well, it's this nationality and that nationality," only to discover that is locals doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? Because sometimes that is our first response. Eh? It's not our people, it's just a person, this set of people, and that set of nationality. When in fact, it is our own people. The issue with the gun running, I mean, we got to get straight to it. I think I heard, I don't know if the police or whatever, or the U.S. or someone saying, that a lot of the guns coming through the containers. I mean, I've always maintained it. Now you have boats, one caught in Newcastle. But who is the agent for guns up there? You live news, who is the agent? No, you importing, you got to have an agent.
Right.
And in St. Kitts,
the concern now is that the guns that are coming in, they're more, they're powerful. They're more
they come with telescope and
powerful than that of the police.
So they don't forget the police and army. Better than what the army has.
Right.
The police are peacekeepers, you understand? I mean, this is like espionage, you know? Sniper somebody. So you get shot in your place and the person they're not even near to your house. I mean, we got to get serious. Because you see, when I tell people, you know, if you got spiritual insight, these things are pure demonic. Design, rob, because Satan description ain't changed. Rob, kill, and destroy. Rob, and our political leaders, they better start to find their knees. Because nothing can destroy an economy more than crime. And just like how we here are watching it climbing up, if you don't make any move, if you don't make any intervention now, it will be out of control. If they're bringing in those kind of guns, then not even you safe. I mean, we got to get serious. Somebody need to do some kind of forensic, what I say, psychologist. There are intelligent forensic psychologists. People who could analyze the mind of people who are criminally inclined. Find out what it is, what's going on in the prison. Because sometimes it's in there, the plan, eh?
Right.
What it is that is driving our young men, I mean, to kill, to rob, to maim. I mean, in broad daylight. Well, all of us who know how to pray, you better pray. You don't pray for the victory, you don't pray for the defeat. Well, you know how to pray for our young people, because our young people dying. When in an accident is murder. So I beg you all, please to pray for St. Christian. And those of you overseas, pray too. You hear what the Jamaican man who killed the people them talk about? Somebody over him?
That's what I was hearing. He claimed that he was possessed.
Yeah, I mean, well, all of you know, think you better walk on and deliver them.
Well, maybe some people laughed at that and said that's not the case. It could be. You never know.
Yeah, demonic possession.
Yeah, it could be he was possessed for real.
It's demonic, let me tell you. If you could get up and go down and slaughter people who you know.
5
demonic.
People. Yeah, family.
But you see a lot of us, the Bible, and sit down there with that. When it becomes too much, they say, you Christians are supposed to pray. Everybody better pray now. And the storm. When anybody come on, they tell me. Right? Because somebody's not going to call. Please to call if you want me to hush. Now, the activity was going on in Puerto Rico. You see how the U.S. respond to Puerto Rico? As if we don't belong to them? And when the Puerto Ricans begin to protest and say they want independence, they say no? You notice that?
Yeah, I do. I noticed.
I mean, the condition in Puerto Rico, the business going on because they want to fight Russia.
One would have thought that with Puerto Rico being a U.S. territory, that by now they would have been in a good position to stand up against hurricanes and storms. You know?
You see what happened in the Virgin Islands when the place gets mashed up.
Right.
Trump went to peep in Puerto Rico and he didn't even go nearby St. Thomas, St. Croix. They don't care.
All right. We have some more callers on the line, right? Let's take this
All
call.
right, then.
Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Devon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. Just to comment on what your pre-lunch conversation. It's probably refreshing to hear the new Attorney General speak on these things, in that you get the impression that it certainly won't be business as usual.
Right.
And he essentially even put target dates on the delivery of certain things, like, for instance, the good governance, specific areas in the good governance, the legislation should be enacted by the end of the appropriate legislation, and the operationalization should be effected, I got the impression, by before the end of this year. Okay, that's a very quick target.
Right.
And let's hope he accomplishes it. Similarly, we got the impression that there was a target for us to become a republic. I think you mentioned hopefully by the end of, by the next independence. That itself is probably a bit ambitious, but let's see what happens. We can't use the excuse, because that's all it is. The excuse that, well, don't open the Pandora's box. That would not fly in professional journalism. You want to open the Pandora's box because you want more and not less information. Right? Let the chips fall where they may.
Right.
Okay, there are some things, of course, which the statute of limitations or whatever we may not be able to get the prosecution or whatever you want to do, but certainly you can mitigate against what has happened in the past, okay, and make sure that it doesn't happen in the future. That's the whole idea behind looking back at what happened. Okay? You look back to learn from the good and the bad stuff, to know what best practices are, to change your current practices to make sure you improve. Right? You don't say, don't go back because bad things happened in the past, and so use that as an excuse to prevent bad things happening now and in the future. Right? So I'm very glad that that the new government has taken this route, and hopefully we will get some answers. And it's important to get some answers because there are a lot of things that were thrown out, have been thrown out over the years.
Right.
And as you pointed out, we have not gotten adequate responses.
Right.
Let's hope that this time we do, in fact, get at least some answers. All right? And it's not about, really it's not about, so much about getting embarrassing people or
Right, I understand that.
prosecuting people. What you want to do is make sure that the systems going forward prevent the bad stuff from happening. Okay, that should be the main thrust, because we don't want the new government to get sidetracked from its agenda by endless investigations, etc., etc. What we want to happen is for the systems to work in government, so that those areas, like, for instance, the Public Accounts Committee, the Integrity Commission, the audit, the Director of Audit, those organs, those entities need to do their work, and we would not be distracted by this sideshow, so to speak. Okay, just let those people do the work. Let the police, for instance, I suspect one of the reasons that we have not had a lot of information on the investigations that they purported to have been carried out is that they were kind of timid about implicating certain people.
But that is what I have observed over the years, where perhaps it's a case where investigations have been launched, and after they realize that, boy, we really wanted to investigate John Doe, but it's going to affect this person, and so we're going to hold off on it. And that is why I believe we hear about these things for a short period of time, and after a while, you never hear anything else.
Exactly.
Which is sad.
And that is where freedom of information come in. And I partly blame the press for this, because I think that they should have advocated more for freedom of information, but they too seemed a bit timid to upset the powers that be, and didn't pursue it. But hopefully, if we get these things on board, people in authority would be less intimidated. They would probably be more forthcoming with information if they know they're protected by the laws and by things like whistleblower legislation, which I don't think we have right now, but certainly should have. Okay? If we had those things in place, I think that things will be done in a more correct and forthright fashion. Right? So let's hope that is what would result from having a new, fresh Attorney General in place who view these things as urgent and necessary. Okay? And so let's see what happens. Okay, then.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. It is 10 minutes past the hour of 1 here in the studios of 1FM 98.9, and you're logged into Voices. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Caller, I share some of your sentiments there, regarding things that are pending or investigations, rather. It's not a case where one is saying, don't launch this investigation, or else you might end up having to launch investigations into other matters. These investigations or these inquiries should happen across the board, regardless of who it may, well, regardless of what you may uncover. That is what I'm trying to say here, So these things should happen across the board, and I maintain that one of the reasons why we often don't get much information or an update on these investigations is because they've implicated or you've seen some things come to light that, boy, no, I don't want this to affect that person, Let me hold that. Okay, we had a caller. We seem to have lost that call. But I maintain that is one of the reasons why we oftentimes don't hear these things. We have some more callers on the line. Let's head back to the phone lines. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hello, good afternoon, Devon. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. What about you?
I'm fine. Yes, the gentleman just said, because when the report come out, you know what they're saying? Behind that, he got her, they call him Wilkin. He was working with Mr. PM2, the ex-prime minister. Like they say, he must be in the same boat too. I mean, that's what they want. That must be in the message. That's what they want to say. So why you want to really question it so big? As soon as you put all that, I get it in my phone, Each thing what he do, he give out. And then this to come behind. So I don't know how they're going to get that settled. I don't know. What they want to say, well, he get paid too from doing work for him. Yes, for him, the gentleman, they is right. They got to do research. Cause, yeah, this thing's supposed to clean up. It's just like you have a blackboard, you don't just wipe off some and leave some, clean the whole blackboard. But you have a black back or drop or backlash drop behind that when he said that. There's something come behind that. So we're going to see what happening. And the guy who call him from down challenges there, yeah. But yeah, we need a change, but that ain't gonna make us better. Go in, Commonwealth, that's the get change. Well, I don't want him now. I feel good there, and I am okay. I ain't doing us nothing, and he ain't researching and he telling about Africa. Some Africa, they will want help. Yeah, the person, I didn't see it. Maybe I ain't look on my YouTube but to pick it up. But I really see some big bus were going for through with some people in it. Maybe I didn't zoom in good enough to see the part there. But she want to enjoy that's your business, he business. You know, he don't only the country, no, he depending on Africa. Well, Africa on the post. Let me ask him. He see nearly 3/4 something about Ghana, somebody underwater. You know, thousands of people so separate the hungry, the this and that. Yeah, he debating. No, don't say nothing to the queen. Don't give no worship. Yeah, please. We here now, me nearly 100 and we meet it there. Yeah, when he wish she went in, she'd pick up the throne when I was just born. So I don't know what happened to I won't debate any car. Well, I understand. Yeah, we could say go our way, but what happened if we get in a conflict? Who's going to come fight first? Are we going to oil here? No? So if you think America going to send down any worship down here to us, they lie. They just say, they just watch it this way. Oh, don't pay no allegiance to the queen. And don't play, I don't leave the thing alone. I don't see nothing wrong in that and so on.
All right.
But because we don't use it, we just might as well leave it there. Until, you know, and Mr. Dr. Terrence, you take your time. But next year, let me take your time, sort out thing. I'm putting this thing in your head. Let me want to know, you know, why use it and you know. The people just want to take up power to just push things. Let take your time, as the gentleman was just saying, sort it out, work on it. And Mr. and Miss Henry was saying, let me work on things, boo going. We ain't in a hurry. We're going good so long. We will soon know, we will try to see now what he intended to do. Or we will be better than the former Prime Minister. Get them things, there are a lot of things to clean up, you know. Cool, come and hear about the treasury. And hear about this. You got to go sort out them there. With the money gone, what happened, who spend it, unfinished thing, the work, job open, unfinished, pay, you know. I mean, people was, your job was unfinished and people were getting pissed. Somebody called him about the Tabernacle clinic they put down there last, so some contractor and get the pay to finish, get the pay. So all of that we need to go through and left them other things. And so I'm not saying nothing wrong with it because we push. I don't understand if anything and we need help, who's going to help us? Like you, somebody over there bang your brother and somebody still hold your back. So go help your brother. And you want to go help your brother, Baba. Somebody put it back, so I beg you let him know he's strong, he can work it out himself. But you feel hurt because it's your brother, you see your brother getting beat up. So I beg you let me take the country one day at a time, right? And this telescope gun now, right? Oh, no, I heard one, they come in here a couple of years ago, but they went on and the guy over keys there, and they caught him up in time, 100 yards, them to go shoot him from, you know, the one, so... If they hope they ain't bringing in this thing, you could just see some back fall down. You're there by the clock, somebody way up 4th Street. Nobody see the person pointed, but they think it's a joke. They know it's you targeting back to fall down. So I hope, as Mr. Henry said, he does work on these things. Now I make Mr. the former Prime Minister really, I see why he was going through your package when you bring them. Because I think they really did come through. Some of them, sometime and so. So we need to work on that. If we were quarreling about it, it's not fair. You ain't there in your package open, yes, but there's a reason why it was going on. Okay.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. It is 17 minutes past the hour of 1 here in the studios of 1FM 98.9. We'll take this short break to give a shout out to our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll continue Voices right here. Let's take this break. We'll be right back.
Found the sound 98.9 Win FM.
Here are your Horses Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag Independent Specials from September 8th through 21st. Essential everyday croutons, just $5.99. Alma Vienna sausage, $2.99. Pringles chips, $7.99. Bagel bites, $11.99. Wharton cookies, $14.99. Swiss Miss chocolate, $8.99. And now, our very low weekly value deals. Planters cocktail and dry roasted peanuts, $14.99. Post honey bunches of oat cereals, $11.99. Wishbone salad dressings, $11.99. Crest toothpaste, $12.99. Suavitel liquid fabric softener, $16.99. Essential everyday pastas, $4.49. Shop smart, shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Welcome back to Voices right here on Win FM 98.9. It's 20 minutes past the hour. Just about 10 minutes left before we wrap up the program for today. We have some more callers on the line, so let's head back to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I do not know everything the topic, but the few that I catch, I will try to think. How are you doing?
I'm doing good,
the crime
thanks.
thing.
Sorry?
I said the crime thing.
Mm-hmm.
As Ms. Sylvia was saying, and sometimes a lot of us don't look at it. It's an evil spirit, but it's also the mind.
Yes.
If you are doing something and your mind is not ready to change something, it will never change. I think you're smart, guy. You should know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Just like if you go to the doctor and you never tell the doctor what happened to you, the doctor cannot really cure you.
That's true.
We had a period of time when we were following these persons in the youth and all over the world about maybe get rid of the police and so forth. And everything was criticizing the police. But you have to remember, the police are not like, let's say, up in the air, hovering over things they need with powerful cameras to see exactly what is happening in every location. A report has to be made and they have to hear something for them to respond. For the police to be effective, they must get the information to be effective. You should know that, because if someone comes to you and complains to you as the news person that something will happen, unless you do not get other persons to say what happened, you realize you only have one person saying something, right?
Right.
But sometimes we in society, I don't want to include myself. Some persons, let me put it this way, some persons forget these things and they believe that what they want must happen and not forget reality. Two, when it comes to the crime, I believe over the years, society has actually created this way of living because, when you look back, you might see what I'm coming from. So often now, right has become wrong and wrong has become right, and there's always an excuse why someone has to or should do something wrong, which is actually an offense or a crime. I don't know if we had this discussion one time, some time ago, about, if somebody is hungry and they want to justify they should steal something. No. It's got something them ask for it, or go and work. I don't know if you remember that period when people said, but suppose the person hungry. I don't know if you remember that. Those are some of the excuses people want to give. And it's wrong. You should say when something is wrong. It doesn't matter if you're hungry or not. That doesn't give you a reason to steal. There's something them ask. The other thing, when it comes to I just want to leave it there when it comes to the crime thing, for us to realize and reflect. If we do not realize, if we reflect, we realize society has created the situation that we're in. Because, remember, the persons who are doing what they're doing now, they were once children. And there are a lot of persons who believe children shouldn't be punished. Punished doesn't necessarily mean they have to be flogged. But let me use a better word than discipline and chastise. They believe they should do everything. And, they're just children and nothing should happen to them. And they fail to forget. The evidence says that even you, my good friend, if you do something wrong at the station, you'll be disciplined and reprimanded, right?
Right.
That's a form of punishment. But some persons fail to understand when they have that kind of mentality, the persons who do not want to get punished for even what is happening now, when they reach adult, they would have created a situation where these people believe, no, nothing should happen to me, even if I go on a spree of committing all kind of things. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yes, yeah.
So society, and if you don't believe me, go and study. You should do your research and realize society dictates what happens in society. Sometimes you hear about the majority wins, but it's not necessarily always like that, because the majority could be calling for something that is wrong, and they win. They win it, yes. That doesn't necessarily mean it's right. You get where I'm coming from. The other issue we're going to move on. Yes, I understand people might have an alarm about the way the African leaders might have been transported. My question is, for me, which is more important to me than that, I'm not sure about you, is how the representatives, think it's the Navy, our representatives, were transported and how were they treated. Sometimes we pick up other people's back, which is good, just to be things in solidarity with persons. But I want to know, so maybe that's a question you could ask, how our representative was treated, and then how was the closer to home as well? How was the other Caribbean representatives were treated? Because remember, we shouldn't be quick to judge. They are bigger than us. They have bigger armies than us. Why not use a military plane from them as they have planes? Because remember, we cannot look at the US and Canada. They have the assets to fly where they go to. You catch where I'm going with this?
I'm following
There's
you.
been an arrangement. We don't know what the arrangement is, but sometimes you see something and you get the explanation, then you could always come to the conclusion what you're coming to right now. But we do not know what happened. But my thing is, it is good to have the concern and call it out if it is wrong. But I want to know, they travel like that, how my representative from St. Nick, representative,
were treated.
how he or she was treated or how they were treated. And if you want to bring it to compare, is how our fellow Caribbean person were treated, compare, and then we could find out now, go dig deeper.
So you'd say,
why did this happen?
You would say bring it home, start at home first.
Right, because you see, sometimes we like to take other people's battle, and then your own house might be on fire, but you're out in someone else's home. Why are you going to profit it to out somebody's home, or you get burned now? So I want to know what happened to our representatives. If he met the same fate, if they met the same fate, but sometimes it's arrangement, because we talk about these big leaders, so they're traveling with the aircraft and all kind of things, right? You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I'm following
And even the President of the United States had his personal limousine. You understand where I'm coming from? So it is the arrangement. And sometimes we forget this and we get caught up with feelings without getting the truth in. But I personally want to know, compare to them how our own was treated. And then, if it is like I said, it could be justified in criticizing how it's done. But sometimes we have to understand what happened before. You think you catch where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm following you. I do.
Right, because what is seen and exactly what happened might be two separate different things. And when you understand what happened, the outburst that might not be even justified. However, the outcome from the investigation might reveal the outburst is actually justified. You understand where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
But first, of a national of St. Kitts nation, I want to know if like treatment was meted out to one, our representatives, two, our OECS representative, and three, our CARICOM representative. And then we could see, you're comparing and contrast. You believe you catch where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Because as a lot of people will say, there's not much difference between us and them. But there are big differences, eh? But we could measure it by that and see. Because sometimes it could be, like I'm trying to get the point so we could understand. It could be an arrangement, an agreement. So I just want to put that out there for all of us. And then we could even put more fire, heat, whatever you want to say, on how they were treated. But let's get a better understanding of what is happening first. Thank you very much for listening. But the crime thing, which is a concern to us, we have to see the problems, and if we know the problem, we could come with a solution. The problems seeking is not just for the police, and the solution is not just for the police. Police comes from society. Therefore, it's a societal problem. And society have to get involved, because if they just stay back, remember, the police is not at that location when something happens. The person who's going to bring the information, the police is at loss, and the work is tense and hard. And I think the police was on the radio one time I was saying, sometimes incidents like those take years to really solve. If you want to get them solved quick, cooperate to the police. Thank you very much.
All right, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution to this program. It is it's 1:29 here in the studios of Win FM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. And let me say thank you so much for your contribution and participation in this program today. Voices for Monday, September 26, 2022. Until next time, you guys continue to stay safe and do enjoy the rest of your Monday, and of course enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Everybody beware, you better prepare. Disaster can happen anytime, anywhere. Everybody beware, you better prepare. Disaster can happen anytime, anywhere.
How do I prepare a disaster plan? Step 1. Learn as much as you can. The first step is research. Do not wait until a disaster is coming to find important information. This step is incredibly important for your plan. Here are some things you should find out. What hazards are you exposed to?